चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर बिक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिग पाल जहाते कभी कोबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माही जलधि लांगी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सभारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवाले असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दास। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघु बरपुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तरे संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान। Last session we saw how there was a mixture or exchange of the charus, and due to which over here Jamadagni was born, and over there another son to Gandhi was born. Now Jamadagni was very pious, because it was said that the Kshatriya tendency, the ferocious nature, is going to skip a generation, isn't it? Now after all this, after giving birth to Jamadagni, Satyavati became the holy river of Kaushiki. Yes, she became the sacred river. Jamadagni was married to Renuka, and we saw how Kartavirya Arjun or Sahasrabahu Arjun tried to steal away the cow of plenty. And we understood that we all are seeking something called contentment, eternal bliss. However, we do not want to work towards it. We really never look up to the people who have attained it. And somehow, either we want to steal it away from them, or we want them to give us an easy way to attain that state. Is it possible? No, right? Effort is needed. But over here, he tried to steal the cow of plenty. He's trying to steal away contentment, assuming that it is better fitted to be with him. Now, who is anybody to decide what is better with them or with others? Many a time we feel, right, he got that. He does not deserve it. Is it the right process? The amount of judgments that we pass, we always have an opinion. We always feel that we know the best. We deserve the best. We have no clue why somebody else has something or he does not have something. Yet, we want to put forth our opinion. Why is that so? Have you ever noticed your eyes? These eyes, that is why we should always keep these eyes at the feet of the Lord, because these eyes are the ones which judge the most. With our eyes, we commit the maximum sin. While walking, observe yourself. Everything you look, every person you look at, you form a judgment, you form an opinion. Everywhere you go, these eyes see and form opinions. Isn't that true? It happens, right? That is why we say, use these eyes to look at the feet of the Lord, so that looking around, they are like the horses without their hoods. When a horse is without its hood, it is very difficult for the horse to run straight, isn't it? So what they do is they put hoods on the eye. In the same way, the name of the Lord should act as our hood. We should put the name and the picture and the feet of our Lord as our hood so that we don't go astray. Most of the sins are committed through our eyes. Most of the judgments are formed first through our eyes because we see and we judge. Over here also, Arjun decided, no, I deserve to have it, and he forcefully took the cow of plenty away. Okay? He took it away, and while all this happened, the elder brothers and Parashuram, that is Ram, was not there. After a while, they came back from the jungle and then they asked, what is wrong? Why is the ashram... See, the vibration of the ashram used to be very peaceful. When all this chaos happened, when a negative person entered, there was a fight for the cow of plenty. There was agony and there was kind of that jealousy that Kartavirya Arjun and that ferociousness that he had left behind was still there in the air. The auras had been polluted. So the minute the sons came back, Renuka and Jamadagni's sons came back, one of the sons was Ram, that is Parashuram. They asked, what is wrong? The ashram does not feel heavenly. The ashram does not feel calm. Has something happened over here? Has something gone wrong? Why is it that the peace of our ashram is not intact? To which Renuka said that Arjun came, he forcefully took our cow of plenty away. Parashuram could not take it. He used to get agitated any which ways because that was his samskar, right? That was his sanskar, that was his vasna, that is how he was supposed to be. That was, we all carry some sanskars, some vasnas with us. The way we behave, the way we react, to a great extent is because of that. That is why we say, right, it is easy to control our karmas. It's very difficult to eradicate vasanas and sanskars. It is possible but difficult. He got agitated. He took an axe and he rushed. He rushed towards the kingdom to get back his cow. That was the only intention, nothing else. And just imagine a sage. He was dressed like a sage with axe, bow and arrow. He was like, he had the body of a warrior. And he was so angry, with his eyes blood red, he rushed towards the palace. And when the news came to Arjun, he said, oh, if he's coming, destroy him. There was no chance. He did not even want to talk. He said, just destroy that Brahmin. And the soldiers went, and it is said that Parashuram alone was able to destroy so many of the warriors single-handedly. It is astonishing that one person single-handedly destroyed the entire army of Kartavirya Arjun. He was baffled when the news came that this has happened, that 17 most strong Akshauhini Senas have been destroyed by one single-handedly. He lost his senses. He could not believe what was happening. And Parshuram rushed towards Arjun, and there was a battle. He thought he is very powerful, right? With his 1,000 arms. But one by one, Parshuram, it said that chopped each and every arm of his till there were arms everywhere at the battlefield. And he destroyed Arjun also. He loped him. He chopped off his head. And he took his cow of plenty and went back home. See, no matter how strong a person is, No matter how many boons a person has, one sin and the power diminishes. One sin. And these thousands of arms, for me, is a representation of thousands of negative thoughts. And these 1,000 negative thoughts can be destroyed by one positive thought. Only one positive thought. See, we do not have to follow 100 things. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts going on in our mind, right? Sit down and think how many are positive, how many are good, how many are negative, how many are bad. Most of them are pessimistic thoughts, negative thoughts, where we have regrets and we have anger. There's so many things that are doubts and judgments. These thoughts are so many. It's like an ocean of thoughts. To kill these ocean of thoughts, you need one single pure thought. One single pure thought. Now, so many, the entire army, Kartavirya Arjun himself, who was so powerful, who actually defeated Ravan as if he was a nothing and kept him in the stables. So he must have been a powerful soul, was destroyed by Parashuram. One positive thought. Take hold of any one thing. Whatever it is. Satya, Shama, Ahimsa. Take one thing. Purity, charity. And hold on to it. For instance, if you hold on to truth, in no matter what, I will not lie. Okay? No matter what the situation. What will happen? Once you hold on to truth and are able to imbibe in it, actually adapt to it and maintain it, slowly all the other positive thoughts, positive virtues, positive characteristics are going to flow towards you, because one leads to another. One is actually complete. With truthfulness will come purity. With purity will come Shama. With Shama will automatically come love. And so on and so forth. So hold on to one, and these 1,000 negative thoughts can be destroyed. But then when we are holding on to that one, there is no excuse or not an escape day. As if, okay, today is my cheat day. So today I won't say, today I can do whatever I want. No. And once you hold on to one positive or one virtue, tests will come your way. The day you decide that I'm not going to lie no matter what, situations will form in such a way that you would want to lie to save your skin. However, once a decision has been made, you should not change. Write it. Truthfulness is my virtue. I will follow it. Principle of mine. And keep it on your phone. Stick it on your phone. Put it at places where you can see, so that it's a constant reminder to you. And the minute you see it, one negative thought, two negative, gradually you will realize all will be destroyed. Just the way Parashuram alone destroyed Arjun and his army. He took the cow of plenty back, and when he reached back, what did Jamadagni, his father, see? He saw that he had blood stains everywhere. His axe was fully stained with blood, and it was a very, very, very demeaning kind of a situation for the sage. He said, "What have you done? You are a sage. How could you go? You're a Brahmin. How could you go and destroy and kill and cause harm?" Now Parshuramji said, "But he was evil. He was tormenting people. He was not doing his duty. I had no intentions of killing him, but the situation demanded so. And hence, I had to." But over here, Jamadagni went on to say that you have to remember that forgiveness is the true nature of a sage. Once you learn not to forgive, then you're not a sage anymore. You have committed the greatest sin ever. His father admonished him. And Parashuram said, "Okay, so what do I do? What do you want me to do?" He said, "I want you to visit holy places and fix your mind at the feet of Sri Vishnu for a year. so that whatever sin has been committed by you may be erased by the Lord. Because forgiveness is something that leads to the adoration. A sage, a sannyasi, an elevated soul should have forgiveness in them. But Parashuram agreed to his father, okay, if that is what you want, you would want me to do Tirath, you want me to remember Sri Vishnu, I will do it for a year, and he left. But the question over here is, forgiveness where? What forgiveness? What is forgiveness that he is talking about? So, is it forgiveness that somebody is sitting in front of you, somebody is creating mischief, somebody is creating a ruckus, somebody is creating chaos, somebody is harming other people, somebody is evil? Would it be right to forgive him? Now, if we read the scriptures in this way, we will feel that yes, it is said that we should forgive. We should not retaliate. We should not harm. Unfortunately, that is the irony. We interpret our scriptures in a very subjective manner. Forgiveness in any situation? But what is forgiveness? Let's try to understand forgiveness first. Forgiveness, just imagine somebody has come and cheated you or hurt you. What kind of forgiveness would you offer? The worst kind of forgiveness is, the third grade kind of forgiveness is, when that person cries and pleads and then you forgive. He comes and he begs for your forgiveness. He says, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. He apologizes and then you forgive. Before that, you hold a grudge. So that is the worst kind of forgiveness. Second kind of forgiveness, second worst, not that bad, is when somebody harms you, somebody hurts you, you forgive. That is, you don't do anything. You do not retaliate. However, you do not forget. Right? That is the second kind of forgiveness. It is of course better than the first, but still. And the third kind of forgiveness is where you forgive and forget. So in the first case, he had to apologize for you to forgive. In the second case, you forgave without an apology, yet you did not forget. In the third case, you forgave and forgot. But the best form of forgiveness is when you do not even register the wrong that has been done. You do not take personally the wrong which has been done. There is no hate in you. You do not... See, why am I using the word personally is because we tend to take everything personally. Jesus always said, right? Hate the sin, not the sinner. But we do not hate the sin. We hate the sinner. Forgiveness there is, you have no hate in your heart. You have not registered that anything wrong has been done to you personally. However, if needed, you correct it without any bitter intentions. That is the best kind of forgiveness. See, it is not that you see somebody slapping you and you walk away. That is theek. And you say, no, I didn't know, he has done nothing wrong. Fine. If it is still a limit, that is a good approach to ignore. But is it right? We all are propagating these days, as I heard somewhere, misplaced compassion. Misplaced compassion, misplaced forgiveness. This is not what our scriptures are talking about. Otherwise, Parshuram, an avatar of Sri Hari, would not have gone and destroyed. They are teaching us that when there is something wrong that is happening, you ought to stand up and fight against it. If that is needed that you protect somebody, you have to protect. You should not just say, okay, if somebody slaps you in one cheek, you offer the other cheek. Why would you offer your other cheek? That is not our scripture's teaching. Our scriptures are saying, you forgive because you don't register anything personally, but if something requires your action, you have to act. Don't you see, all our gods and goddesses have shastras in their hands. They have weapons. Why? Why should any god and goddess have weapons then? No, they have weapons because there is a limit to which you have to remain quiet. When that limit is crossed, you have to stand up and act. See, if the wise remain quiet, the foolish are going to talk. If the good say, no, whatever is happening, let it happen, I'll forgive. Nobody is asking you to do that. That is the sad thing. The good decide to remain quiet. They decide to take everything. It's okay. Whatever is happening is okay. No. If you have the capability, if you know, if you can help, go help. If you can punish, go and punish. But over here, the secret is you do not harbor any negativity towards that person in your heart. Because it is not that person you're fighting. It is the action. It is the sin that you have gone to eradicate. Over here, Parshuramji did not have any problem with Arjun. However, he had a problem with the action that he had done. And the Kshatriyas at that time were actually behaving like tyrants. Now, over here, another learning is it necessary that if you are born in a Brahmin kul, you cannot have any other characteristics? That is not true. See, by birth, nobody is a Brahmin, nobody is a Kshatriya, nobody is a Shudra, or nobody is a Vaishya. It is all by your karma. The sooner we understand this, the better it is. And when the situation demanded that he act against the vices that had been, the sins that had been committed, he got up, he acted. And he corrected it and he came back. But there was no hatred in his heart. He understood that right now the need of the time is for me to fight against the terror of the Kshatriyas. Because they are suppressing and harming people unnecessarily. However, at the same time, when his father said, no, you have to go, he left. He left, he did the pilgrimage, and he came back. Once he came back, again, his father greeted him, and they started living their normal lives. It just so happened that one day, Renuka had gone to the jungle, and she was filling some water for the prayers. And when she was filling water for the prayer and all, she saw the Gandharvas. And when she saw the Gandharvas, she totally got mesmerized by them. And she started looking at them. And due to which there was a moment where she appreciated the good looks of the Gandharv. At that time, she got delayed, and afterwards she came back. And when she came back, Jai Shri Ram, when she came back, through his Tap Agni, Jabat Agni knew what he saw. He saw that she, for a minute, had some feelings for another person. And when he saw this, he got very angry. Now, he was the one who was preaching forgiveness and not being angry to Parshuramji, right? But he got very angry and he told his sons, kill her, chop off her head. All the other sons refused. But Parshuramji, when asked, he said, okay, all your brothers have refused to chop your mother's head. I want you to chop off her head and the head of all your brothers. So Parshuramji looked, without a second thought, he chopped off all their heads. And when this act was done, Jamadagni asked, you have listened to me, you followed my orders instantly. Tell me, what can I give you in return? What boon can I give you in return? He said, because you asked me to, and I wanted to follow your orders because I knew the power of your tap. I chopped off their heads Now what I want is, my dear father, please bring my dear mother and my brothers back to life. At the same time, they should not remember that I had harmed them. Otherwise, they would never have the same feelings towards me like before. When Jamadagni heard this, he smiled, and again Renuka and all the other sons were brought back to life, and they did not remember what had happened. Again, over here, we might say, how could, a son chop off his mother's head? We can also interpret it in a way where a negative tendency was destroyed by a positive. See, for the positive to come, the negative has to go. Over here, Renuka was brought back to life. Jamadagni only wanted to destroy the negative thought, negative vasana that had emerged in her, so that she rises up pure again. And when the brothers did not obey the father, it was again a negative tendency that had emerged. Do you know what this tendency was? It was mamta, attachment. And so Parashuramji only killed these, nothing else. Jamadagni also only wanted these to be destroyed, nothing else. And Renukaji and the sons were brought back to life. Now days went by, but the other sons of Arjun who were left behind, many of them were killed, the others were left behind, they were still burning with revenge. They still wanted revenge. They were hurt. They just were so angry that her father's head was chopped off that they wanted revenge. So they planned, and again, when the boys, that is his brothers and Parashuramji, were not there, they came to the ashram and chopped off again Jamadagni's head. Renuka Ma tried to stop them. She tried to tell them that please let the cycle of revenge end. It is not good. We had no intentions to even harm your father, but the situation was such that there was no other way. We don't have any personal vengeance towards you. Please don't kill my husband. However, these boys did not listen. The prince, and they looped off the head and they walked away. They took the head with them and they walked away. And when they went back to their capital city of Mahasmati, the glory of the city, there was a kind of an aura that city held. Arjun was also a great tapasvi. A little of it diminished when he stole away from a sage. And now it was totally gone. It was barren. As if all the positivity had been sucked out. And again, when Parshuramji came, he saw his mother crying. And she was hitting her chest. 21 times she hit her chest. And she shouted, see what they have done. They killed your father. Their tyranny is growing by the day. Parshuramji said, this is enough. How much can one face? He went back. And it was not very difficult for him to again destroy all the soldiers and get back the heads of the other brothers. He killed all the people, all the Kshatriyas that came his way. Got back the head of his father, fixed it, and did all the sanskars for his father. But that time, he took an oath. He took an oath that now on, I will destroy each and every Kshatriya. For 21 times, he rid the world of Kshatriyas. 21 times. Because it is said that 21 times his mother had hit her chest. He would just destroy them. That is all. People would tremble by the name of Parashuram. The thought of him would give them nightmares. But he just kept destroying each and every Kshatriya who was unjust, who was causing harm, who was not doing his duty. See, with great positions comes great responsibility. With great powers comes great responsibility. And what is the point if you are using your power to exploit and not to tend? Parashuramji realized that these people are going to just nurture and breed more injustice. Their coming generations are also going to be the same. So what is the point? We have to rid and cleanse the earth. Did he have any personal grudge? No. He did not have any personal grudge. But he realized that it was a need of the time. And we all should realize what is the need of the time. Forgiveness is good. Compassion is good. In a normal situation where people are maybe bad-mouthing us or gossiping about us, we can give a blind ear. However, when things go out of control, action has to be taken. And that action is not considered wrong if, let me repeat, if you do not harbor hatred in your heart. There is nothing which is a personal agenda. Over here, Parashuramji did not have a personal agenda. He did not have a personal agenda that I am going to destroy all these people and take their riches and, tend to myself. Not at all. He had no such agenda. He just had the greater good in mind. And when he had the greater good in mind, no amount of destruction created by him accounted to any sin. Not only this, it is said that later on, when Ramji took avatar and when he broke the Shiv Dhanush, Parashuramji came running, isn't it? Again, he was angry. He wanted to see what has happened. And when he realized that there was a just ruler, a just Kshatriya, the race is cleansed, everything is pure. Ram is a Kshatriya who will take care. He stopped the destruction. It was only till a just ruler came. It was not for him to become a ruler. It was not as a revenge also. See, revenge is bad and revenge is blind. If it was only for revenge, he would have destroyed the family of Kartavirya Arjun and he should have left. But he did not. And it was thoughtfully done. It is not that Raja Dashrath and Raja Janak were killed. They were also there during that time. No, right? Many of the kings who were not harmed. However, the ones who were vile were destroyed. You might say, but before I continue, and when Sri Ram came, what happened? Sri Ram saw Parashuramji, and Parashuramji realized that his role, his avatar was for destruction of the Kshatriyas, right? Is over now. And at that very moment, there was something, that avatar, that glow from within went to Ramji and merged into Ramji. And Parashuramji gave up even the power of locomotion and he went back. Because he knew that his work was done. See, you would not know that your work is done. Or if you're a maniac, where there's a mental imbalance where you're destroying people, this kind of a discrete thinking, this kind of a vivek does not come. There was discrimination while he was acting and destroying. It was not like andhidon or blind passion or blind anger. No, it was very calculated. That is what we have to ask ourselves. We have to understand. See, by the story, it's a very simple story over here. Okay, to start with, the charus were exchanged. So the characteristics of the children changed, right? And because of this, Parshuramji had such a characteristic. Over here, Kartavirya Arjun came, he stole away the cow, and hence Parshuramji went to get it back. And while he was going to get it back, there was a fight in which Sahasrabahu had to be destroyed. And he came back, and again there was a fight where his sons attacked. Very simple story, right? But it is not as simple as it seems. It is telling us how to behave in an adverse situation. It is telling us the art of forgiveness. It is showing us the art of compassion also. It is asking us to shake out of the misplaced forgiveness and compassion that has been fed into us. Most of us would walk the other way if something wrong is happening to somebody. कि हमें क्या करना है? When I am not involved, why should I bother? Isn't it? Because we are afraid. We are only going to react if something happens to us or our near and dear ones. Right? But we would not continue till all and everybody is protected. So when there is a personal agenda, it becomes a crime. But when there is no personal agenda, when the soldier goes and he guards the country and he shoots, is he a sinner? No, he's not a sinner, right? But if he had killed somebody because of a personal cause, he would become a sinner. So we have to understand that it is the situation we have to look at, not only the action. What was the situation that triggered such an action? And again, we have to work towards it. We have to understand what situation demands a certain kind of action. It is not as simple as black and white. We normally think and look at the world and the people around as black and white. This is sahi, this is galat. Aisa nahi hai. There is no right and wrong. The situation, everything has to, situation, the circumstance comes into play. A doctor, when he is operating on somebody and that person dies on the operation theatre, will you put him in jail? No, right? But if that doctor stabs somebody purposely because he does not like that person, that doctor would be put in jail. But when he, by mistake, but not even by mistake, he's trying his best to save somebody, but that person passes away, it is not considered a crime. Hence, we have to analyze our reactions in situations. Over here, I'm getting tempted to tell you one small little story. There was a sadhu, and he was going through a jungle where the people of the village said that don't go through this jungle. There lives a snake. He bites everybody and he kills everybody. The sadhu said, don't worry. I will see what the snake does. I want to meet the snake. So when the sadhu was walking, the snake came down and started threatening the sadhu. And the sadhu talked to him, and there was such a beautiful impact of his presence that the snake became calm. He eventually became the disciple of the sadhu. And the sadhu said, see, from now on, I would like it if you don't harm anybody. The snake said, don't worry. I have become your disciple. I have begun to know the truth. Hence, I would not harm anybody. Now, the snake stopped harming anybody. The snake stopped biting. The snake stopped hissing. What happened then? Because of all this, the snake became harmless. And so, the people started taking advantage. Children would come and throw stones on him. They would pull his tail and throw him. And because he was just a piece of toy who would not do anything no matter what happens. So this went on, and it just so happened the condition of the snake became so bad. He got so injured, he stopped coming out of where he lived. He was so scared, and because of that, he was starving. Because he could not go out to fetch food, otherwise people would attack him. Because they knew he was harmless. So again, after many, many days, the sage was passing by again, and so he wanted to meet the snake. So to meet the snake, he went again. And what did he see? He saw an injured, almost at the verge of dying snake. And the sadhu asked, what happened to you? What is wrong? How could anybody do such a thing to you? He said, it is because of what you told me. You said I'm not supposed to harm anybody. Hence, I did not. The sadhu said, oh my goodness, this is not what I told you. I told you that you're not supposed to hurt anybody. But I never stopped you from protecting yourself. I never stopped you from hissing to scare them away. I asked you not to bite. The snake understood. Oh, he said. The sadhu said, nobody. Spirituality, God does not make you weak. You are not supposed to behave like dumb fools who do not look at what is happening around and act and help. That is not what is the agenda of spirituality. And if people think that is the agenda of spirituality, I'm sorry. It is a wrong conception. If that was the case, there would not be a Ram who killed Ravan and all the Rakshas. There would be a Krishna who destroyed so many demons. There would be the stories of Devi protecting and destroying evil. Since when did we get into this rut of misplaced compassion and misplaced forgiveness? And the cause of our demise as a dharma is just this. We forgot or we misinterpreted the teachings of our dharma. That is the irony. Let me repeat again. We are not supposed to harm anybody. Universal love is what we are taught. But when provoked, when hurt, when our safety gets threatened, we have all rights to protect ourselves. We are not a dharma of cowards. We are not. But again, it requires discrimination and vivek. We have to be very controlled in our actions. It should not be an impulsive reaction. Act, think, act. And the most important thing, don't harbor any personal negativity, hurt in your heart. Because that makes you a sinner. The minute you attach to your action, the minute you start feeling the pain caused personally to you, the minute you start acting in a way that you hate the person who has committed a blunder, that is where the demise happens. So forgiveness, compassion, love, these are terms which we have to harbor. But when it is needed, we have to stand up also. At this avatar, in fact, all our avatars tell us that. And how will we get this discrimination of where the line has been crossed? Would you know? Would you know? We will know. We will know. I'll give you one more example. Now, there was a sage, the story goes, who was doing his puja in Ganga, and every time he came out, somebody spat on him. A boy sitting next to the stairs spat. Again, he had to do his puja. Every time he came out, again this boy spat. Again he came out, the boy spat. And it went on for 100 times. 100 times, this boy just fell flat at the feet of the sage. He said, I have been harming you so, I have been doing so many things, I have been spitting for so long, yet you did not say anything. The sage said, because of you, I was able to do puja 100 times. If I would be glad if you had done it 8 more times, 108 times I would have taken the dip in this holy river Ganga. Now over here, the situation is different. Over here, he is spitting and he is going. He is spitting and he is going. The sage reacted in a certain manner, but we cannot make it a benchmark. Over here, he did not even register that any harm is being done to him, right? Then there is another story of a scorpion, right? The scorpion keeps biting, the sage keeps lifting and putting him out, right? And when asked, the scorpion has been biting you, so why are you trying to save him? The sage said that when a scorpion does not leave his nature, why should I leave my nature of Satchidanand Swarup? Right? Now, in this situation, yes, that kind of forgiveness where you don't even register, the best kind of forgiveness, where you don't even register that anything wrong has been done to you. is the Uttam forgiveness. It is the best kind of Shama. Uttam Shama. So first was where somebody pleads, then you forgive. Second was you forgive but you don't forget. Third is you forgive and then you forget. Fourth is where you don't even think anything wrong had been done to you. Very good. Compassion is where you feel sad for somebody and you go out and help him, right? But these two have a certain limitation. These rules can be applied only till a certain point. But beyond that, when you realize that now it is essential to act, remain in that fourth stage where you are not taking anything personally. You are not thinking that that person is doing something wrong to you. You are not holding a grudge against anybody, yes. But you know that the situation demands action and you act for the greater good. Are you a sinner then? No, you are not a sinner. Have you broken the rule of forgiveness? No, you have not broken the rule of forgiveness. Have you broken the rule of compassion? No, you have not broken the rule of compassion. The rules will break when things become personal. The rules will break when things are vengeful in nature. The rules will break when you hold a grudge. The rules will break when it is a act which is not done thoughtfully. It is a knee-jerk reaction. Why am I emphasizing so much over here is because this is what is the need of the time. And we need to awaken to this truth. And Parashuramji is telling us just that. Just because you get up and you act, that does not mean that you are not divine anymore. His divinity did not go anywhere. Jamadagni was talking about forgiveness, right? But if we take it at face value, he did not know what forgiveness was. One lapse from Renuka, and what did he do? He wanted her head chopped off. He was preaching forgiveness, right? Although if we go to the deeper meaning, where as we looked into it, it is much greater than that. But he was the one who was preaching forgiveness. What happened when it came to him? He forgot his preaching, right? That is what our scriptures want us to be balanced individuals. Our scriptures don't teach us that if wrong is being done to us, we don't react. Our scriptures don't expect us to be quiet when there is harm to people around us. No. However, they emphasize on the state of mind we should be in. Now, after Ramji destroyed Ravan or Kumbhakaran, or for that matter, all the soldiers which were destroyed during the war, none of them were actually disrespectfully buried, no, or cremated, no. They were respectfully sent back because both the armies were fighting for a cause. And that's it. The fight was because of the situation and not with that person. So with respect, they were sent back. Even Ravan with respect was sent. And Vibhishan was asked to do all the final riots. There was no grudge. There was no hatred. There was no knot. All these sages like Parashuramji are like, when you look at it, like something is being written on a beach. Suppose you go to the beach where the waves come and go and you write something on the sand, what will happen? As soon as the next wave comes, it will go away, right? It won't be visible anymore. But suppose you carve on a stone, what will happen? It will be visible for a very long time, isn't it? Parashuramji and all the sages are like carving on a beach, on the sand. Yes, you feel that something is being written. Just because he was killing the Kshatriyas 21 times, just because he destroyed his brothers and he killed his mother, just because, no, there was nothing written in his heart. The minute the wave came, the minute the situation was over, it was finished. There was no grudge in his heart, no knot in his heart. The problem is, we talk about forgiveness, we talk about compassion. However, we have knots after knots after knots after knots in our heart. We are unable to forgive. We never forgive anything we think is wrong. Years may go by, and we will, whenever we remember about it, we'll say, that person did this to me. I have forgiven him. How have you forgiven him? If that is still there in your mind, you have not forgiven him. Because a thought is still raw. It's all a game of thought. जब आपके दिमाग पे वो चीज़ है तो क्या आपने उनको माफ करा? नहीं करा. The day you forgive, you would not even remember. Forgive and forget. You should not even remember that episode anymore. It is possible. It comes. But no. Anything, any little harm that is, he did it to me. Again, he, Deha Buddhi again, that person harmed me. What happens when somebody hurts you? Your ego gets hurt, right? Because your expectation was to get respect, or your expectation was to get a certain treatment. However, that person did not behave in that manner, so your ego got hurt, and now you are vicious and you want vengeance and you want to react because your ego was hurt. Over here, it is not a battle of ego. It is not a battle of personal infliction of harm by somebody else. No. It is a battle of principle. Even in Kurukshetra, when Arjun is pleading and crying that I cannot fight and destroy my own family. Arjun said, my own family, I cannot destroy them. So Sri Krishna says, what is yours and what is not? Right? You are not here because of a personal agenda. You are here to fight a dharma yudh. Your battle is against adharma. Now, who is standing in front at that time should not matter. Sages, spiritual people are not inert objects. They don't stop acting. And time and again, our scriptures tell us that. Get up, stand the evil, fight against it, protect the people who need your help. Just like Parashuramji, he said, how does it matter? Just imagine, he said, how does it matter where I am born? If it is the need of the time, I am going to act and protect the helpless people from these cruel Kshatriyas. No, we'll say, no, that is not our job. Whose job it is? If you see evil, it is not your job to stop it. Whose job is it? भगवान आएंगे या कोई और करेगा? हम क्यों नहीं? If every person starts taking responsibility, if every person starts acting in this manner, the world would become a better place. But we do not, unless and until it is a personal thing. Even if it is a personal thing, we remain quiet. But again, I'm not propagating retaliation or reaction. It is a thoughtful action, a judgment of where response is needed, where it is not needed, where you could overlook and forgive, where you should not overlook and act. When you overlook and forgive or don't acknowledge any harm being done, again, that is beautiful. But when you acknowledge and decide to act on what is being done, there should not be a personal agenda. There should not be a personal grudge. There should not be a personal hurt. To a person who is beyond all this, the law of karma also does not apply. Till you are being pulled by the gravity on earth, there is weight, isn't it? Once you go into space where there is no pull of the earth's gravity, what happens? Weightlessness. You fly. Till we are in the clutches of Maya, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva is rampant in our mind. Then we have to abide and act in a different manner. But when we have moved beyond that, just like Parshuramji, we are in that Gunatit avastha where Rajas, Tamas and Sattva is not there. It is like this situation and this action is needed. Then nothing is wrong and right. But to reach that level, what has to be done? Tapasya. Yes. Generations and generations of tapasya. Where nothing touches us. It is very important to act without any personal agenda, personal grudge, personal hurt, personal benefit, to act beyond this body consciousness. But let me remind you, there is a very thin line between when to act and when to forgive. And again, it will only come when we purify ourselves. And most of the time, some inner voice will tell us whether it is the ego at play because of which you want to retaliate, or it is a greater good. You will know. You will always know. And this is what the story of Parshuramji is telling us about forgiveness, compassion, revenge. How should we behave in such situations? Later on, there is a small brief mention of Vishwamitra also. Vishwamitra was the son of Kadi. Who? Again, who was it? It was the mother of Satyavati's son. And we know the entire tale, right? He also tried to steal the Kamdhenu from Guru Vasishtha. And what happened? We all know. He initially wanted to defeat Guru Vasishtha. Hence, he did a lot of tapasya. First was, what is it? And the thought that came in Vishwamitraji's mind was, I am the ruler, right? He was a ruler of Kaushik. Vishwarath was his name. I am the ruler. I am so powerful, yet I am unable to destroy this feeble sage. What is it? What is that he has and I don't? And with this, he started doing tapasya. To start with, it was just to give a showdown, right? He got shastras and astra from Shivji to defeat Vashishtha. But gradually, as he went on, and time and again, with one bit of anger, his entire tapas would go, it would become zero. That is why nowadays, we hear people talking about samadhis and all. Aise hi lag jati hai kya samadhi? It is a lot of vigilance that is needed. Vishwamitra, every time he reached a certain level, one bit of anger, he came back to negative. Not only zero, he came back to negative. One bit of jealousy, he came back to negative again. He has to start again. One bit of kamna, desire, he came back to negative. This is his story. And finally, because of constantly trying and trying. See, aag ka darya aur doob ke jana, there is no easy way out. There is no easy way out. He kept trying and trying till one fine day, there was no more ego left in him. This I want to be called a Brahma Rishi to defeat Guru Vasishtha and to show him down vanished. And the day it vanished, he became a Brahma Rishi. From a Kshatriya, now again, this story is beautiful again. A Kshatriya became a Brahmin. And Parshuramji was a Brahmin who destroyed the Kshatriyas. He became a protector. Right? And Vishwamitra, whose job was to be a protector, became the knower of Brahman. Brahmin is the one who knows Brahman. That is, who knows the divine truth. It is not a race. Many people gloat because, I am a Brahmin, so I have those genes. Nothing like that. Yes, probably your ancestors were the knowers of Brahman. Probably. But now aisa kuch nahi hai. So in our scriptures, they are telling us that you are not bound in any way. Vishwamitra, a Kshatriya, could become a Brahmarishi. Over here, Parshuramji, what was he? A Brahmin, acted like a Kshatriya. It is all the need of the time, and it is all your composition. It is not better where you're born. There is no stopping you. And our scriptures, these two examples are proof that our scriptures do not say anything against one caste or creed doing only one thing. Nothing like that. As we go on, we'll hear stories of these are varnas. So casteism was not a part of our scriptures, not the way we think about it. In Vishwamitra's ego vanished. The day his ego vanished, he became a Brahmarishi. Ego vanished, he became a knower of Brahman, so he became a Brahmarishi. He was not a Kshatriya anymore. These are very simple things that we have to pay attention to. And over here, Vishwamitra realized what was needed. He realized the self has to be dissolved. We don't dissolve ourselves, and then we talk about great things like forgiveness and compassion. First, dissolve yourself. The minute the self, the ego, the expectation is removed, the body consciousness is removed, and then a thought and an action is done, there will be a great difference, not only in the actions, but in the output also. So, our scriptures don't say be cowards, don't act. When needed, Parshuramji is also an avatar. Keep this in mind. Let's close the session. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. 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 Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Bolo Bajrang Bali ki Jai. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman.